Hello everyone, very good morning. Just let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, yeah. So let's start, guys. Just sharing my screen. Okay, let me know once you can able to see my screen. Yes. Are you able to see my screen, everyone? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me log into my org. Okay. So did anyone tried the roll-up summary fields? Whatever we discussed yesterday. Any doubts? Okay. So I just logged into my organization. Yeah. So yesterday we discussed the roll-up summary fields, right? What is the use of roll-up summary field and what are the actions that you can perform on the roll-up summary field, right? Okay. So so yesterday we discussed on a very important point, right? So roll-up summary fields will be created only in the master data relationship, right? So if you find the lookup relation, right? So so we don't have any option to create in the lookup relation. For example, the relation between the courses and this batch. Okay. If it is a lookup relation, then you cannot create a roll-up summary field on courses. This is very important, right? So so if the relation between the two objects is the master detail, then only you can create a roll-up summary field on which object you need to create a roll-up summary field.
Parent, sir.
Parent, yes,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that is a courses. So now that is also one of the difference between these two objects. Okay, roll up summary is very very important. Okay, in interviews they will ask. Okay, so what is the difference between lookup and master detail? So first thing is coupling, and second thing is deletion, and third thing is roll up summary field. Okay, right. Now coming to my org, so I need to go for the objects now. Okay, I need to go for my custom object. Where should I go? Setup. Where should I go? Objects. Next, these are all my custom objects. I am in classic now. That's why we can see custom objects as a different section. But in lightning, all objects will be there at one place, all standard custom objects. Okay, so now I will go for the batch. Go for the batch object. Okay, so I'm trying to create a field. Okay, so here we have discussed all the data types, right? All the data types we have discussed except formula field, right? This is the only thing which is pending, right? Lookup relations we discussed, checkbox, currency, these are all the so general fields. Okay, so today we are going to discuss what is this formula field. Okay, what is meant by formula? Anybody? I mean, in general, what is what we call as formula? So in general, in mathematics, so you will have these terms, right? Formula. What does it mean? Formula. So before going to that, see, a read-only field that derives its value from a formula expression you define. The formula field is updated when any of the source field changes. Okay, I can say simple terms. I can say, so let me go for the new canvas. Okay, okay. For example, I have a variable called a. Okay, and I have a variable called b. I have a variable called c. Okay, a is having a value called 10. B is having a value called 20. Okay, now I need to calculate the subtraction, addition of a and b, for example. So what should be the value? 30, right? So how it got derived? 10 plus 20, right? So what is 10? A. So what is 20? B. Now what is the formula of c? A plus b, right? A plus b. Now the formula of c is a plus b. Clear? So what is a formula? Formula is nothing but formula is nothing but that derives the value. Okay, that derives the value from the expression you defined. What is the expression here? A plus b is the expression. Okay, That is an expression you defined. From that you are getting the values. Okay, you define the value for a equal to 10, b equal to 20. So the formula is a plus b that you defined here. Now whatever the values you have on a and b, so that will be added, right? So and those values will be as, so stores into the variable c, right? This is what the formula meant. So for example, so we have one more thing, so where you need the subtraction, for example, you need the subtraction, or you want the multiply. What will be the answer? 200. Why? It is a multiplication, right? So now the formula is a into b is the formula. Okay, we defined as an expression. So the value in a and f, so value in b, so will be multiplied. For example, if I want to change the value, so this is my formula. Okay, now I'm changing my formula to something around 20. I'm changing my value to 30 of b. Now what is my answer? It is 2 600. It is simple mathematics, right? So what is my formula here of c? This is my formula, right? These are the values assigned to these variables. Okay, now if you read the sentence, a read-only field that derives its value from a formula expression. What is the expression here? You define expression is a into b. Okay, the formula field is updated when any of the source field change. What is the source field here? Here, what is the source?
AB.
Yes, a b are the source. Now, when I'm changing it to something else, automatically my formula value will be changed. Simple. Okay, whenever your source field values are getting changed, automatically this formula also will be calculated and will be changed. Simple. Okay, if we got a requirement in this way, then we have to choose this formula data type. Simple. Okay, right. Now here consider okay, so consider a is a field, start date, for example. B is the one more field, end date. Okay, now my start date is something like today, right? 23 by 05 by 2025. This is my start date, for example. My end date is something like 30/05/2025. This is my end date. Okay, so here a is nothing but a start date, b is nothing but an end date. Now c is some other new field I am creating. Okay, days. Days between start date and end date. Okay, start date and end date. This is my new field. I think it not looks good, right? Simply I can say days, number of days, for example. That makes sense, right? Like number of days. This is my new field called c. Okay, now my formula should be something like, I need to calculate the difference between these two dates. How many days are there in between these two dates? That is my formula. Okay, that is my formula. Now, so what is, I mean, what should I write? What should I write? What is my formula? I want to calculate the difference between these two dates. So what should I write?
End
I should
minus
write
end
end
date
date.
start date minus start date.
Yes, end date minus start date. That is my formula, or that is an expression I am defining. Got it? Right. Now this is what the formula I have written. Okay. This is a formula I have written. Now what will be the value? What will be the value in this? So
7.
based on this, what should be the, I mean, what the value it will be calculated? What will the answer for this?
7.
7. Right? This is what? This is the expression we defined in the backend. Backend in the sense, whenever we are creating the field, we have to define this expression. Okay, in the backend. Now front end, you will get that answer. Got it? So these three are the front end, because we have to enter the start date and you have to enter the end date, and based on this formula, this will automatically populate. Right? So this is a formula, right? So this is a formula. Formula means what? So we should not enter any value, right? We should not enter any value. So it will automatically, it will be calculated. That is why it is a read-only field. That is why it is a read-only field. So what is the other field we have always a read-only field?
Roll up summary.
Very nice. Roll-up summary. What else we have?
Auto number.
Exactly. Auto number. Because these three are the system generated is auto number. These two are automatically will be populated. Okay. So you cannot give any permissions. Okay. You cannot modify the permissions. Like you cannot give any edit access for these records. Got it? Right. So all the remaining fields you can give edit access, or you want you can remove the edit access. But this is a read only field. Always these three fields are the read only fields. Very, very important. Okay. Right. Now, okay. Now, so this is the formula for this number of days field. Okay. So front end is these three are the front end. So let me do this. Okay. Right. Got it? What is formula? Just read the statement now. Read this statement. A read-only field, this is a read-only field that derives its value, right, from the formula expression you defined. The formula field is updated when any of the source field changes. Got it? Right. Now we will go to the front end. Okay. We'll go to the, sorry, back end in Salesforce. So let me go for the batches in the front end. Let me open one batch record. Okay. Now I have start date here, I have end date here. Now Swiss technologies business analyst or product owner, so both are same. Okay. Product owner is the actual business term they will use. Okay, in the business point of view. Okay, both are same. Product owner or business analyst. Okay. Now business analyst or product owner asked me, sir, we need I mean we have a requirement, so to display the number of days between these two, like how many days. Okay, start date you mentioned, that is fine. End date you mentioned, that is fine, but I need the count of the days. Okay, how many days this batch is getting trained. Okay, so that is my requirement. So now I need to create a formula field. So as a developer, we need to understand, okay, he wants to automatically get the number of days. So what are the options we have? So roll up summary, it's not possible, right? So why it's not possible? Okay, let me explain. So this is formula, right? You got it. Let me keep this for now. So today I am going to explain you in a practical ways. Okay, so where we have to choose formula fields. This is very very important. Okay, where we need to use formula, where we need to use roll up summary. Okay, so can we directly so create a roll up summary field in a lookup relation? No. Okay, these type of things are the logical questions people will ask. So whenever you go to any interview. Okay, what is this object? Parent object, for example courses. Okay, so now what is we have as a batch, for example we have these two objects, right? I'm taking the reference. So this is a batch. Okay, now what is the relation we have between these two? What is the relation we have between these two objects?
Master detail.
Master detail. Where should I see? I am a new to this instance. Okay, new to this sandbox or new to this org. Okay, so where should I go?
Object.
I'm new. Okay, which object I need to go?
Batch.
See, I don't know. So what is the relation between these two objects? As a newcomer, so I can see there are two objects in the backend. I know there are two objects in the backend. So how I know? I went to this object sections and I have seen we have courses and also we have batch. I need to see what are the relation between these two. So first of all, where should I go? I will go for courses, for example. I will check any relationship is there or not. Any lookup relation is there or master relationship is there? No, right? Here we don't have any relation. Now, so that means this is not a child to anyone, right? This is not a child object to anyone. Now, I will go for batch. Okay. So do we have any lookup or master detail? Yes, we have a lookup to master detail to courses. That means, so as we discussed, in which object you have a so lookup or master detail, that will be the
Child.
yes, that will be the child. So now I found a lookup relation on the batch object. Now batch will be the child. Which object? Courses. So what is the relation? Master detail. Simple. So this is how. So when you go to the existing project, right? Okay, so whenever you go to the existing project, all these objects will be already in the system. So you have to understand the relations by navigating to the each and every object. Okay, nobody will so tell you. Okay, so you have to go to objects and you have to search in this way. What is the relation we have? Master data, right? So till here we are clear, right? Now, so when we need to use the roll up summary, we already discussed when we need to use the roll up summary. And in roll up summary, right? Okay, these are the automatically it will populate, right? Now, so roll up summary means yesterday we discussed it, right? What is meant by roll up? It will get the data from the child object if the relation is a master data, right? So here I can create a roll up summary where I am creating in the parent. I can create in only parent. Okay, listen my words. I can create only the roll up summary field in the parent, because roll up means it has to roll up all the records. It has to roll up all the records. That is why Salesforce provided an option to create this roll up summary on the parent only. That is the usage of that field. Okay, and also we have a restriction also. What's the restriction? We can't create on the lookup relation. Got it? You cannot create on the lookup relation. Got it? Not possible. So now here, if you see, the requirement is I want a field on parent which will get all the details, all the summarize the details of the child records. Then you can go for roll up field. Simple, right? Now my requirement is I have a start date. Okay, I have a start date. Where I have a start date? So where I have start date? In my batch object, right? And also I have a end date in my batch. Okay, in my child object. Now where should I get the data? So where should I mean where they want to create the number of days? On the same object. On the same object. So here only they want it. These are the columns, right? So here they want a field which will automatically calculate the difference between these two dates, right? So this is on which object? Same object. The source fields are run. So which object? Same object. Source fields also on same object. The actual formula should be also on same object. Then can we use a roll up here?
No,
Can we create a roll up?
no,
The roll up is only we can create on the parent object to get the summarized details from the child records. If the relation is a master detail, then only we can use the roll up summary. So rest all, so you can have to go for the formula only. Okay, so here, so the diversion is from parent to child, right? So you can get the so records from the child in the parent, right? Now, so now what I will do, so as this is on the same object, source fields and the actual formula field will be also the same object, I can go for the formula, simple formula. So what should I write? So select formula. So click on next. It will ask the name. So what I can, if it has number of days, number dot of days. Naming convention is important. Okay, for any field, number of days. So what is it is asking? Add to custom report type. Okay, by default we can enable it. What is the options it is asking? What is the return type? Okay, for formula we have a return type also. So what kind of formula you are going to write? Okay, what is the outcome of the formula? So here what is the outcome of the formula? Here what is the outcome of this formula? Number of days. You are creating this formula, that's fine, but what is the outcome? Outcome means what?
result.
result, right? So suppose I have given the date here, 2 dates. What is the outcome of this formula field number of days?
Number.
It is a number. I am writing a formula on date fields, but the outcome is number. That is what the return type meant to. Okay. So now what I select number. Okay. Again decimals. Do I need decimals here?
No.
Do I need decimals here? No.
No.
No. So if you remember when you are going to create any number field, direct number field, the same thing they will ask, right? So whether you want decimals or not. Okay. In the similar way, whenever you select a number in the formula also, it is asking for the decimals. So for now I will keep it as 0. I don't want, see the example, it will come like this. If you keep something like that, it will be like points. Okay. So for now I will keep it as 0. Next. So this is what you will get the window next time. Okay, next thing. So here, this is very important. So this is the place where we have to write a formula. Formula in the sense expression. Okay. So this expression, what is the expression here? This is the expression. Right? What is the requirement first? So this expression will come based on the requirement only, right? What is the requirement here? So what Swiss technologies gave to us? They want the duration, like it's a number of days in between the start date and end date. That is the requirement of the business or the client. So that is the expression we have to write here. Okay. So how we can write? So this is the field name we created in the previous screen. It's a number data type. Okay. Now if you see the screen, you can see some simple formula or advanced formula. The two types of options you have. And if you see insert field, and you can see insert operations. Okay. And you can see some functions they have provided. Salesforce has provided some functions. So all these things, so you will get to know, and you will have the hands on when you are creating more and more formula fields only. Simple. Okay. You have to get the requirements from the Google or whatever it is, right? You have to, so create as many as formula fields, then only it will be very 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 handful, okay, for you guys. So because if you see the formulas, how many formulas we have here, I mean how many functions we have here, many functions, right? So we are not going to use each and everything. Okay, whenever the requirement comes we have to search here, okay, whether so relevant function is there or not. All these things you will understand whenever you create more and more number of formula fields. Okay. Right. Now, so we will go to the simple formula. We'll see what is the simple formula. This is the screen for the simple formula. When you click on the simple formula, you're getting this. So what is this? So first of all, we'll try to use the simple formula first. Okay. What is this field type? You got these organization and user are the standard. Okay. This organization is a standard object. User is also a standard object maintained by the Salesforce. That's why you have a dollar option. Okay. Now, why I got only batch here? Because I am on the batch object tool. Okay. I am on the batch objects. That's why I got batch. Okay. Now, what is this? Trainees count. So, what is this trainees count? It is a number field, right? So, we are not getting any date fields here, right? So that is, so but my requirement is I need to use this date fields, right? So as simple formula we don't have options here, right? then what I need to do, I will go for advanced formula. Nothing. Okay, simple formula means, so they will give like this. So that same data types, so whatever fields you have, the same data types it will give. Okay, but so here I need a different data types, right? Start date and end date are the two different data types. It's not number, right? So those are the, so date fields. Then we have to go for advanced formula. Simple. So you can write by using simple formula also, and you can write using advanced formula also. Okay. So there is no difference between these two. But only difference is simple formula means Salesforce is using only few fields to write the formula. But advanced means you can use any type of fields. Okay. So for now, for my requirement, I am using advanced formula. As I am not getting the date fields in the simple formula, I am going for the advanced formula. Right. Now this is the window we have. Each and every letter you have to see here. What is this insert field? What is it meant by? In this formula box, you are going to enter a field. Okay. Let me click on that field. This is the window you will get. Okay. What is this batch? And you have a arrow button, right? That means I am on the batch. I selected this batch. What is the other box you got here? These are all the
Fields.
fields in that batch object. They're all the fields in the batch object, right? In the similar way, so what else we have on the left hand side? All are with dollar, right? All are with dollar. Those are all are the
Standard.
standard ones. Simple. So here I am on the batch object. I want to click it. You are getting all the fields related to this batch object here. Now, so I mean, what is my formula here? What is my formula? End date minus start date, right? End date minus start date. So just check where is my end date here. This is my end date. Just select on it. So what is the formula it is showing here? Just click on insert. Nothing. Automatically it will come, right? So what is this? Why we didn't get the label? As I told, right? So API name is very important. Everything in the Salesforce will be with this API name only. Not only here, when you are writing any flow, or so when you are writing any Apex class or Apex trigger, you have to use this API name only for the field, right? That's why I told you from the starting that column names will be stored with underscore underscore c, so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. Okay, so this column names will be always with the API name only. Okay, right. So now what I did, I just get the end date here. Now what is my operation? Minus, right? Subtraction. Now I need to go for operator. Subtract. Okay, like this. It will come when you select. Now what is the other field I need to use? I am on the batch. End date minus start date. Okay. Now what the formula shown? End date minus start date. That is our formula, right? So now before going to save it, just check the syntax. Everything is good. No syntax errors in the merge fields. Okay. What is this merge fields? Nothing. These are the merge fields. API names, they would call it as a merge. Okay. So description again. So as this is a formula field, so it is asking for us to create a formula. So rest all same. So description is for what? To whom? Description is for developers to understand. So what is the description I should give? Something like displays number of days, number of days, number of days. Okay. Same thing for the help text, or else I can say calculate number of days between start and end dates. So what is the formula we have written? Just I'm making it in the description. Clear? Till now it's clear. Now what is asking? If the formula reference any number, currency or date, to specify what happens the formula field when the values are blank. Okay. So let's keep it for now. So make it as a zeros for now. Okay. Next. So next screen is asking for the profile. Okay. Read only profile. Oh sorry, what is it? Sales rep profile. Here we have a profile. Next, layout I'm adding it. Save. Now what I have done, I have created a formula field called number. What is the formula in this? As a developer, I need to open and I need to check end date minus start date. Okay, this is what the formula we have. So coming back to home page, well, let me check as the end user. Okay, where is it? Duplicate. Okay, let me go to the home page. Right, this is what the front end. Okay, this is front end. Where is that field? Batch. Clicking on new. Why that batch field is not coming here? Number of days field is not coming here because that is an auto number, like it's formula field. See, formula fields you can't see on the new page, right? Because it will automatically generate. So start date I can give as today. End date I will give it as a 30, 31. Okay. Courses. So why is it mandate?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, why is it mandate?
Master detail relationship.
Yes, Java. For Java, I'm entering say, right? Now what happened? 8 days only, right? The difference between. So can I edit this? No, because this is a formula field. You
Read only.
cannot edit a formula field because this is a formula. Simple. Let me try to edit it. Is it possible? See, the formula itself was not coming here, right? Right. Only the formula fields you can see on the what is this page?
Batch detail page.
The detail page. Okay. So now what is the source fields for this formula?
8 days.
What are the source field? Source fields.
Start at end date.
Yes. Start date, end date are the source fields. Source is nothing but what? So this is a destination field, for example. Source means so from where these gettings are, so values are getting populated. That is the source. Simple. So now I want to change this start time course to something like May 1st. I will update. Save. See, my formula is automatically getting updated. 30 days only, right? From 1 to 30. Means whenever I'm changing the source date, automatically formula also will be calculated. Now let me remove this date. Let me remove this date also. What you got it here? Blank, right? We are not getting any value. Let me edit this. Let me give one more value on the front end. Like June 1st. My batch will start from June 1st. And my end date will be something like June 31st. June 30. Let's say it's coming as a 29. Okay. So like this, if I want the formula, right, automatically want to calculate, and you have to go for formula fields. Clear? This is a simple formula I have explained you. Okay. So now what I mean, where are my source fields? Source fields are on the same object. My source fields are on my same object. Okay. Now my requirement is, okay, my requirement is, let me go to the diagram. Where are my source fields? My source fields are the same object. Now I have the start date for the course and end date for the course I have. Now my formula should be, I need to get the start date and date from the course object. I have two fields in the course object. I need the formula should be from the course object. For example, that is my requirement. Okay, got it? That is my requirement. So for this record, so what is the course record? Java. So on Java, I have a start date, right? So we didn't create any end date here. Okay, we didn't create any end date, I guess. So here we have an option. Okay, if you see this, I am on which object? Courses record. I am on the courses record. See, for developers, so simply we can use this side bar. This is all the backend only, right? View fields, view object, validation rules. These are all the backend only, metadata only. So for developers, in order to navigate, okay, very quickly, instead of going for setup everything, Salesforce is providing this option for us. Okay, it is like in mobile apps. I mean, few phones. So we are having a shortcut, right? There will be an icon on the mobile screen directly. I mean, what are the favorite apps we have? So we can just add to that icon in a similar way. Okay. Now I want to create a field. Click field. It will go to the same object only. Okay. Now I will create one more field called end date. So where I'm creating, I'm creating on course object. Save. I'm just adding it. Simple. Okay. Now I have start date and date fields. So let me refresh my page, record page. Okay. Let me read. Okay. Now I got it right. I got the. Okay, I went to classic lightning, right? Let me go come to the classic batches. 11 batch courses Java, right? So I have an end date also. I mean, so now I got the end date. Now for this Java, I will mark it as I mean, till December, I'm going to support this Java. From which date? From, okay, from June 1st onwards, Swiss Technologies is supporting, I mean, giving training for the Java. That's where the start date is should be one. And so after December, they don't know whether they will start training in Java or not. Okay, that's where the end date will be the 31st. I'm clicking on save. This is what they have stored the information. Now my requirement is on these batches, okay, on these batches, let me add one more thing. Okay, on layout, I want to add courses layout. This is a courses layout. In the related list, I will add the number of days also. Okay, save. Okay, coming to the front end, I am refreshing the courses. See number of days also here I can see, so directly in the screen also. Okay, screen only. Now this number of days, from where the days are getting calculated? From the start date and date, right? From the start date and date, from the start date and date, right? Now my requirement has changed. I want this number of days populated based on this parent start date and end date. So what is the difference between this 1 6 and 31 2? It almost 6 months, right? 6 months in the sense, for every month, if you consider 30 days, almost 180 days. So greater than 180 days, like 184 or 195 it will come. But here we are getting only 29 because the formula is on the batch started and ended. That is my requirement. Is it possible to write a formula, okay, from the parent object? That's my question here. That is an interview question. Okay, on the same object you are getting the fields, that's fine. Okay, I have written a formula, but here my scenario is I want to get the parent fields in my formula. Got it? In the number of days formula, I need to get the parent object. This is a parent, right? Right, from here I need to get, is it possible or not? Okay, is it possible or not? So yes, it is possible, right? So that is very very important. This is very very important. Okay, so we can get the fields from the parent object. We can get the fields from same object, anyhow we are getting, we will get it. But we can get the fields from the parent also. Okay, now we will create it. How we will get it? Okay, we already created the formula, right? This is what object? Course object. I want to go for batch. Where did I create? This is formula. I just want to open it, right? So these are the fields from the same object, batch object. Now let me show you the difference, how the dates will be. Now I want to write a formula. So these things just remember. Okay, so how we got it? This one. Okay, now so where should I go? Insert field. Okay, now I am on the batch. Now these are all the fields on the batch object. Now if you see courses also, we have a arrow button. Why we have arrow button for few fields? Can anybody? If you see courses, you have an arrow. Created by, you have an arrow. Last modified by, you have an arrow. Why? Only for these three fields you have an arrow?
We'll get more fields.
No, no. That's fine. But why we have only arrows for these three fields? Why for not batch number? Why for not created date? Why for not end date? This is just, I mean, small logic we have here. So where are we? On the batch, right? Let me open the batch object. Let me open the batch object. Now tell, so why we have only the arrow marks for created by, last modified by, courses. Courses created by, what else? Last modified by. Created by, last modified by, courses. Why we have only relation? I mean, so why we have only the arrow mark? Because
Delete.
these three are the relationship fields. These three are the relationship fields, right? That is the reason why we got only for this. Why we, I mean, what, so we'll get if you have relation. That means relation is nothing but an object, right? So we are relating it to some other object. Simple, right? We are relating it to some other object. So that is the reason all the fields in that object also will come. Okay. Now I need to get from where? From courses. Just click on that arrow mark. You will get all the fields related to the course object here. See, again you have a relation with created by and last modified by and owner. Okay. Why? Because these three are the relation to user. That's why, simple. Okay. Now I need to get the start date, right, from the courses object. Simple. I will select the API name will always be, so it will give you, and just select it. Or first of all I need end date, right? I will select end date. Insert. Okay. What is the operator? Subtract. Again I need to get the start date. From where? From courses. Start date, where is start date? Here. Insert. Right. Syntax errors. No syntax errors for me. Okay. Save. Now what I have changed the formula from batch end date to courses end date, and batch start date to courses start date. Now go to the UI level. What is the value? 213 days. Actual start date and date is here 30 days only, but the value calculated as 213 days. Why? Because it will consider the start date and end date of courses object, parent object. See, all are having same. Why? Because for all these child records, Java is the parent, right? For all these child records, Java is the parent. So that is the reason this number of days for all the records are the same. So previously it calculated from their individual record. So that's why previously it is varied, like 29 for one record, 26 for one record, because each and every record have different start dates and end dates. But now we are getting the value from the parent, where for all these batches we have the same parent. Got it? Right. So my interview question is, so can I get the fields from the parent object, from the, I mean, in the child object, can I get the, I mean, can I access the fields from parent or not in the formula field?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. My one more question here. Okay. So I mean, for you, one more question for you. Just think of it, okay? I have one more parent. I have one more parent for this courses object. I have one more parent called account, for example. Account is a standard object, right? What I did, I created a lookup field on courses object called accounts. For example, I'm saying, okay. Now this is a lookup relation I created. What is the relation between these two? I created a lookup relation. Okay. Now I have start date and date in the accounts also. Assume, okay. Assume I need to, I have like this, I have, okay, accounts, I have start date and date. The relation is a lookup. From courses and batch, I have a relation called master detail. Now this formula, now what I did, I just pull the based on the courses start date and end date. Clear? Now my requirement got changed. My requirement got changed. What is my requirement? I need to use start and end dates from the account object. On this batch, I need to get the start and end dates from the accounts object. Where is the account object? It's not directly related to batch, right? Got it? It is not directly related to batch. We have another object in between called courses. So till now what we have discussed, we can get the fields from the same object. We can get the fields from the parent object. So this is grandparent, right? For this batch, account is the grandparent. Is it possible to get the fields from the grandparent? That's my question. Answer is
No.
yes. Okay. Answer is yes. How can we get the fields from grandparent? Let me edit. Okay. Let me edit. Now I am removing these things. Okay. Batch. So batch is the child. For that child, courses is the parent. If you see, still we have routing, right? Still we have routing for this lookup, right? And still we have on lookup on user also we have contact. See, so how many times I'm navigating? Got it? These are all we are going up. Okay, this arrow means you are going up in the sense like this. This is a relation we have, and number of days dot means it will go to the courses dot, it will go to the courses object. From courses object, courses dot user or account, you can traverse to top. From bottom to top you can go. Got it? Okay, like this you can traverse from child to parent in order to get the parent fields in the child object. See how many times it is. See what is this? I am on batch. I am on batch object. Courses underscore underscore r, that means going to courses object, going to courses object. In that courses object, I am using created by field dot contact dot account dot owner dot contact dot means, see, so these many times I can go up like this. Okay, so simply I can say, from the child object you can get the values from the parent, grandparent, grandparent. Okay, like that. So you can traverse to the parent objects. Simple. This is very very important. Okay, if my requirement, see, interviewer will not ask you question directly in this way. So in what way so he will ask, so consider I have a scenario. Okay, this is what the interview question. I have a fields called start date and date on the account objects. I have a child object called courses, and further child object I have one more child object called batch. Okay, then I need to create a formula field on grandchild, and I need to so use this accounts field. Is it possible or not? This is my interview question. Okay, then you have to think in your mind like, okay, I have a parent object called account. Okay, so child object, so this box should come in your mind. Okay, so that is a grandparent. So now batch is grandchild for the accounts. Is it possible? So he's asking to create a field on the grandchild. So from where you need to get the data? From the accounts. So where is the account? Grandparent. So from here you can go for courses. From courses you can go for the accounts. Yes, is it possible? Means yes, you can do it. That's the question. So that's the answer. Okay. So here I want to tell you one more logic. Okay. Simple. From child to parent you can traverse. Simple. Okay. From child to parent you can traverse and you can get the fields. The same question I will ask in the other way. Okay, forget about these two for now. I need to create this field. Okay, I need to create this field on the parent object. Got it? I need to create this field on parent object. I need to display the I mean I need to create a formula field on the parent object. Now I need to get the start date and date from the child, immediate child. I can say it's not grandchild, immediate child means courses. Is it possible to get the values from the child object? Right. Okay, now, so where am I? So I need to get the formula field. I need to create a formula field on parent, and now I need to get the child values. Get the child values. Answer is no. Okay, parent to child, get child fields in parent? Answer is no. Get parent fields in child. This is very, very, very important. This is a core logic of the formula fields. Okay, parent or grandparents. This is very, very, very important. Okay, this is the functionality of these formula fields. This will allow Salesforce will allow us to get the fields from the parent and grandparent to the child object, but you can't get the fields from the child object to the parent object. Got it? Any doubts?
Sir,
Sir, show this in a practical way. Okay, I will show you. Sir, you are saying you can't get the child field, sir, from the parent, right? So let me go to the let me go to the courses is also parent, right? Let me go to the courses, and here I want to create this number of days. Okay, let me go to the course object now. We'll see. Let me create a formula field here. I need to get the formula field, and I will create number of days. Okay, what is it? Return type number, decimals 0. Next. Okay, this is box, so I need to go for advanced. Okay, insert. Now what are the icons, I mean, what are the arrow marks I have? Am I getting batches here? Why I'm not getting batches? Because batch is the child object. Batch is the child object. Got it? Batch is the child object. As I mean, I'm going to create a field here, right? Here I'm going to create a field. Here I'm going to create number of days, which I need to get from the child record. I mean, child batch. We can't do because, see, it's not allowing me to so traverse through child object. Only parent only you can go. If you have really, if you have a relation, then account will come here, account underscore. So as we don't have relation right now, the account is not showing, but created by and all showing, right? Because those are the parent lookup users. Got it? This is very, very important. Sir, how we need to achieve this scenario? Okay, next question. I need to create a field on number of days where I need to get all the start date and end date from the child object. That is my requirement, right? So where should I do it? That is where you have to go for customization. Okay, that's where you have to go for customization. One second. Sorry, yes. Okay, so got it. So that's where you have to go for apex trigger, or so nowadays we got the flows also. Flows. Okay, that's where we need the customization. What is meant by customization means, then so nothing, the Salesforce is not providing us this option. So you have to go for some small trigger you have to write on account object in order to get the these fields. That's it. Okay, this is the interview question they will ask. Okay, so directly they won't ask what is formula field, right? So they will give this scenario. So I have to get the number of days from the child object. What you will, so how you will implement, this is the question. So then you should tell, sir, we have to go for trigger or flows customization, because we can't get the fields from the child object when you want to create a field on the parent object. Okay, that is what interviewer will expect from you. So these 2 points are very very important. Okay, get parent or grandparent fields in child. In child means here, get child fields in parent. Child fields in parent, no. Got it? Anybody having any doubts here? Rohit, Shashank, Sheikh, Sampath, Susmita, Satish.
Nothing, sir.
Clear, right? Yeah. So the thing is, you have to implement it. Okay, you have to implement it. So take the other scenarios also, whatever you can. Okay, for batches and courses. Okay, I have one more requirement. For example, I will give you. Okay, along with this number of days, you have to try one more. Okay, for batch, right? So for now what I will do, I will remove this, because I want only from the batch start date and date only. So now what I will do, let me show you one more thing just for your understanding. I'm saying now I want to change from the same object minus start date. This is what, from the same object. This is what, from the parent object. See the difference how the Salesforce is giving the field references. This is same object, right? That's why it's not giving anything. Okay, if you see this, it is saying courses underscore r. To understand, in order to understand, in order to understand for the developers, Salesforce has given this. By seeing this formula, simply we can say, okay, from batch, so we are calling the courses. From courses, in that course object, you are getting the end date, right? This is the difference. So if you are taking from the account, for example, it will give you as account dot, like this. It will give you. Got it? If you want to get the fields from here, right? I'm creating the. I have created fields here. So now from here, if I want the fields from the grandparent, it will traverse courses underscore underscore r dot account dot. Here we have started ended. Okay, like that it will traverse courses underscore nothing but it will go to the parent, parent to grandparent. In grandparent, this is the field we are getting it. Okay, now my requirement is this one, and it no syntax errors. Let me save. Okay, let me refresh my Java. Now again all these dates are calculated based on this started end. Now I want you guys to create this one. Okay, and I want to create you guys one more field, okay, on the batch only. On the batch only. The formula is, for example, if I want to create one more field on batch object called, for example, pick list. Okay, why I'm giving pick list? You have to, you'll understand. Okay, so pick list, I mean it is something, it will have some logic in the, I mean when you're writing a formula. Okay, and that's why I'm giving you the pick list. I'm giving, creating a field called status. In that I need to have values called not started. Okay, in progress, completed. These are the three values I'm keeping in the status pick list. Description for now, I don't want it. Let me keep as it is. Save. It will ask for the profiles. For sales profile I am having already. By default it will give layout. I'm adding it. Okay, now what I did, I created a status pick list field. Now where I am created, I created in the batch. Let me open the batch record. Now what is the status field? We got it as a pick list. Let me edit it. Now I need to update the status to the real-time data. Like, so this batch belongs to Java. It will start on 1st June, right? So that's why I updated not started. Batch is not started. Okay, not started. Now let me update the all other records also. Okay, let me update all other records. Let me keep this status also in the UI. Okay, back and I did some changes. I'm going to open the courses batches. I have only not started. I updated only for this record. Similar way, I need to update for this not started. All are 7.5. This is also not started, right? Not started. Oh, you. I don't want you guys to create this field. Okay, for now. This is what in progress, right? It started today. It should be in progress. What is this batch? This also started today. So this will be, I mean, sorry, not today, extra day. So it is in progress. Okay. Now I need to update. This also starts with first. Okay. Now I need to not start. Okay, that makes sense, right? So now what is the status? I am updating it manually. I in the sense, in real time, who will update this? End user, right? End user is updating this manually, right? Based on the start date and end date. Now I created a field. I mean, I in the sense, as a developers, we suggested them, sir, we should have a field called status, which will say that whether the batch is start or not. What is the status of the batch? Simple, I can say. Okay. Now I created and I have given to the end user. Okay, they are updating it manually. So now business or client gave me a requirement saying, sir, I want to automate this. I don't want my end user to enter this manually, because sometimes the start date is correct, but they will by mistakenly they will enter in progress. That is not right? That is not correct, because the batch will start from Jan 1st, but the status is in process, in progress. Sometimes they will do mistakes, right? So what I want is create a formula field. Create a formula field called status. Okay. If, I mean, simple. If the start date is in future, I need to update it to not started. Clear? If, but I mean, if the start date is in future, I need to display the formula as not started. Simple. Okay. If it is in between these two, so like this. So today is 23. If my date, current date is in between the start date and date, then it should be in progress. If my current date is past this end date, then it should be completed. Got it, everyone? This is my scenario. Okay. Create a formula field. Create a formula field on batch object. Okay. Scenario 1. Sorry, scenario 1. If the start date is if today, I can say if today is if today is I mean, not today, I can tell that if current date is greater than start date, or I can say less than first, because not started, right? If the current date is less than start date, then update and then populate, or not update, then populate to not started. This is the requirement. Everybody understood the requirement? Okay. Second thing, if the current date is between start date and end date, then populate to what? In progress. Next, third one. If the current date is greater than start date, sorry, greater than end date. Okay. Greater than end date, then populate it to complete. This is the requirement. Completed. Okay. Everybody got it? Everybody received the chart, right? Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
You can able to see the requirement, right? Right. Okay. If the start date, I mean, if today is less than start date, then in So not started. If the today is in between this started and date, in progress. If the today is greater than end date, it should be completed. Simple. Instead of the status here, I need a formula field, named it as a status, which will automatically populate it based on the start date and end date. I create a number of days, so based on these 2 days, but I need the status field also. Okay, you try with these two. Got it? So this is very very important. And which one will be, I mean, out of these two, right? So roll up and formula. So what will be the most usage field based on the today's class? So what you guys understood? So which one will be the most useful field? Roll up or formula? I mean, just a guess. As a developers, so what is the most so usage field? So we have a restrictions, right, for formula. I mean, for roll up, right? What is the restriction for roll up? We have to have a relation between the mass, I mean between the two objects. The relation should be the master detail. That is the first restriction. If you have a lookup, we can't use. And second restriction for this roll up summary field is, we have to create this roll up summary field only on the parent in order to get the child records to summarize, right? But formula field is something, it won't depend on the relationship. So what kind of relation it is, even if it is a lookup, even if it is a master, formula field needs only the relation. That's it. It won't so take care of what kind of relationship it is. Okay, so it will just look the so whether this object is having relation or not. Okay, and also you will get the fields from the parent object at any hierarchy. Okay, you can go. Okay, got it. But only disadvantage is you cannot get the fields from the child object. That is only drawback of the formula field. Okay, got it. So these are the two important fields based on our requirement. Okay, in interview questions also they will ask in this way only. Okay, they will give a scenario. Okay, what way you will implement it. So we have three options. One is roll up automated thing, formula automated. If we can't achieve this with these two formula, I mean with these two automated things, then you have to go for flow or trigger. Okay, simple. Okay, just to try to create these fields. Okay, just try to create whatever we discussed based on this video and the requirement. So just create field, formula field, and you will understand. Okay, so that it is difficult or easy. Okay, okay guys, then we'll meet up tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone for joining today's session.